They now have 21 days to respond to the accusations, which Andrew strongly denies, though this could be extended. Virginia Giuffre alleges she was forced to have sex with the Duke in 2001, aged just 17. She has launched a civil case against Andrew via a New York court. To initiate this process, her legal team are required to serve Prince Andrew with legal papers. Last week these were left with a police officer outside the Duke TMS Windsor residence, but his legal representatives argued these had not been properly served. They have since been sent to Andrew Brettler, the Prince TMS US lawyer, in Los Angeles. David Boies, Ms Giuffre TMS attorney, claimed Andrew TMS team accept they have now been served with the papers. Speaking to the Daily Mail he said, Andrew's counsel have agreed that service has been made. Theoretically the clock is now ticking. However, it would be normal for them to ask for, and for us to agree to, a reasonable extension of time to respond to the complaint. Mr. Boies had previously hit out at Andrew TMS delaying tactics, accusing him of playing a game of hide and seek behind palace walls. Lewis Kaplan, the judge in the case, urged the Prince TMS US legal team to cut out all the technicalities and get to the substance. Sources close to Andrew TMS legal team indicated they are likely to seek an extension beyond 21 days to respond to the initial allegations. They added the Prince plans to come out fighting and respond to Ms Giuffre TMS allegations point by point, claim by claim. A preliminary hearing for the case is scheduled to take place on October 13 in Manhattan. Don't miss. According to the Daily Mirror, Prince Andrew is holding crisis talks with his legal team. A source told the newspaper, the plan, if you can call it a plan, has been shambolic from the start. Now at TMS all come to a head. He is extremely worried and the crisis talks are so he can get off the back foot. He knows he TMS in a full-on crisis. The damage to his reputation is there for all to see, but now he TMS feeling the pressure from his family, though none of them have become directly involved. The whole thing TMS a disaster. Ms Giuffre claims she was coerced into having sex with the prince by financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Andrew has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. In August 2019, Mr. Epstein committed suicide while waiting sex trafficking charges. On Saturday, Princess Beatrice, Andrew TMS' oldest daughter, gave birth to a daughter in London. The baby, weighing 6 pounds 2 ounces, was born at the Chelsea and Westminster Hospital. In a statement, Beatrice said, "So delighted to share the news of the safe arrival of our daughter on Saturday, September 18, 2021, at 23.42, at the Chelsea and Westminster Hospital, London. Thank you to the midwife team and everyone at the hospital for their wonderful care." Prince Andrew's former wife has spoken about her battles with mental health after developing an unhealthy relationship with food in her childhood. The royal has also said that she used to compare herself to Princess Diana and wanted to be just as beautiful and thin as her. "I tried, but of course it never went that way," she said in a podcast with Ayurvedic doctor and naturopath Dr. Vijay Murthy. The Duchess of York made a shocking revelation that she once wished she could become bulimic. "I was a binge eater," she told Dr. Vijay Murthy. "I could never get bulimia because I just didn't have that mental state to go that far, but I always wished I could. That just shows you how dangerous and what place I got to. To wish you could have a mental illness to that level is a very serious place to get to. My body and mind was in that place, but I couldn't actually act out to make myself sick. I then grew and grew and grew." Fergie recently released her first novel following a successful career writing children's literature. The novel, Her Heart for a Compass, allowed her to dive into her troubled past and address her eating disorders. She told The Sun, "I think when you are abandoned by your mother, who left when I was 12, you start believing that you are not worthy of love. That then manifests itself as deep insecurity, mental health problems and issues around eating properly. I went through a form of self-sabotage and it took me a long time to work through all these issues. I wish somebody had taken me in and helped me with all that. Recently, the royal told Hello. That therapy has helped her recover. I did have and still have mental health issues, which I work at literally every day, I really do, she told the magazine. And I have been in therapy for 24 years. Zara Tindall married Mike Tindall back in 2011 in Edinburgh, and have since had 3 children. Mia is 7, Lena is 3 and Lucas is just 5 months old. What parenting style do they follow? Although not a working member of the royal family, Zara and her children are often seen in public. This is mainly for important events, and the 3 children have also been spotted with Princess Anne on numerous occasions. Speaking to Express.co.uk, Lucy Shrimpton, parenting expert from the Sleep Nanny, explained, Zara is a very hands-on mum and totally unashamed of showing her affection for her children in public, unlike many royals of the past. Zara has made a conscious decision to raise her children as ordinarily as possible, just as her mother, Anne, the Princess Royal, has done. While Zara is far from ordinary trademark herself, having been an Olympian, and the granddaughter of the Queen, she doesn't let tradition dictate how she acts with her children, which is lovely to see, letting her maternal instincts take control. Other royal family members including Kate Middleton and Sophie, Countess of Wessex, have also been seen showing their children affection in public. Although public displays of affection would have once been frowned upon, modern-day norms allow royals to act more natural in public. Lucy added, like William and Harry, Zara shows affection for her children, which is comforting for the children, as it must be very intimidating for them having photographers so often. Knowing that they have the comfort of their parents there to protect them will give them confidence to be themselves and unafraid of the world around them, knowing they have the safety of their parents there. The expert said, I am a real advocate for encouraging activities for your children and getting them involved in as many sports or hobbies as possible to see what they love doing. Zara and Mike Tindall are obviously very talented sports people themselves, so their children will probably have a natural gift that their parents will want to nurture. Sports are a huge part of the couple TMS lives, their jobs, social lives, and probably their way of keeping healthy both physically and mentally, so they will probably want to share this passion with their kids. I don't believe there is anything wrong with teaching competitiveness as long as the children can understand and learn to deal with losing. The parenting expert explained that this is a really valuable skill to learn. She said, their TMS going to be competitiveness throughout life, and sport teaches you how to deal with this, and not to be a sore loser. However, it TMS important that they are not too pushy and listen to their children TMS wants and needs. The chances are they will love sport as much as they do, but they might want to take a completely different direction, in which case they will need to understand that. Zara and Mike Tindall live in Gatcombe Park, Gloucestershire, with their 3 children. Zara doesn't have a royal title, which allows her to live a more relaxed lifestyle. However, the couple have been photographed several times enjoying the grounds during walks around Gatcombe Park. Poignant conversation took place between the father and son on April 8, the day before Prince Philip passed away. Prince of Wales and his father Prince Philip reportedly discussed plans for the latter's trademark 100th birthday celebrations, and Charles received a typical Prince Philip response for his efforts. The late Duke of Edinburgh has been celebrated for decades for speaking his mind, and the 99-year-old responded in his typical fashion to a question from his son. On April 8, Prince Charles called Prince Philip at Windsor in order to discuss his approaching centenary birthday due to occur in June, and inquire with the royal about a party to mark the occasion. A conversation between the duo has been recalled by the future monarch in a new BBC One programme to be broadcast on Wednesday night, entitled Prince Philip, The Royal Family Remembers. The intimate exchange is said to have gone as follows: just one day before the Duke died on April 9 at the age of 99. Charles is said to have asked slightly tremulously, "We're talking about your birthday," as he was aware Philip wasn't keen on the idea of a birthday party. Aware his father was also slightly hard of hearing, the prince is said to have repeated himself a little more loudly and said, "We're talking about your birthday. And whether there's going to be a reception." Philip was said to have retorted with a quip in the style he TMS known for, by saying, "Well, I've got to be alive for it, haven't I?" The programme is set to be personal and intimate as the royals fondly remember the Duke and his unyielding spirit. Alongside the more touching moments like the aforementioned exchange, hilarious anecdotes are also shared during the broadcast, including one between Prince Philip and his grandson Prince William. The Duke of Cambridge is said to have referred to an outing the pair had made to a remote spot on the Queen's Balmoral estate. During their trip, the grandfather and grandson duo stumbled across a group of young walkers undertaking an expedition for their Duke of Edinburgh award, famously created by Prince Philip. William recalls, he stopped and wound down his window and said, "Good morning. How are you getting on?" Trademark. The smallest of the young men at the back of the group is said to have turned around, responding to the question by effectively saying, "Jog on, Grandpa." Prince William admits that the response was actually far ruder, but that his grandfather was unperturbed by the response and found it hilarious. The late Duke of Edinburgh reportedly wound the window back up and turned to his grandson and said, "The youth of today,